Hi, welcome to episode 62 of the Zeens and Roger Crochet Vlogcast. I'm Rosina, I'm a crochet designer and stuff. Hello, how are you? You alright? It has been a very long time since my last episode. I don't remember how long, but I've been busy. So I did say last episode that I was going to be gone for a while because I've started a new job and I wanted to get settled in. I am settling in. I don't know if I'm settled because there's a lot to learn and I'm still learning it, but it is going all right. It's just a job. It's all right. It's not stressful or anything like that, but I would like to be able to know it, and at the moment I don't know it and I still am too new, and I don't want to be new. I want to be knowledgeable and be able to do my job properly. But it's not crochet related at all. It's 3 days a week. That should allow 4 days a week of crochet time, and family stuff and house stuff and all of that. But obviously you can't just do 4 days of full crochet because you've got all that other stuff on as well. So I'm going to try and squeeze in all the crochet where and when I can. And knitting. I still haven't fixed my camera problem, so it's going to turn itself off quite a lot. I forgot to buy a new SD card, so I'm going to have to find an alternative before I lose the will to live. So I've made a couple of jumpers in the time I've not been here. I've worked on a commission which is finished, and just sort of been tinkering with whips and stuff like that. I guess I should start talking about it. This is my finished jumper. I knitted a whole jumper and made an error. It was so close to the end. I should have ripped it back instead so I could take away this row of garter, or whatever it's called, knit stitch, but I just couldn't be bothered, so it's staying there. It's my little first knit jumper souvenir. The thing I was most worried about when I knitted a sweater jumper, I knew I could do like stockinette stitch, but it was this bit that I was most worried about because I didn't know how you got a neat neckline and how you did it, and I learned how to do it and it worked. I didn't know the concept of picking up stitches before. A quick YouTube video later and I realised how sillily easy it was, and so I did it. Picked up stitches and then knit the ribbing, which is, okay, it's not the neatest, but I don't care. I'll put a picture in the show notes on the blog so you can see bigger pictures of it. I posted a picture on Insta. It's looking a little bit tatty now because I've worn it nearly every day for the last 3 weeks or so. You've seen it as I've been working on it, haven't you? It's just a plain jumper, and it was it's a knit kit from We Are Knitters called the Kinesis sweater, and I was gifted it from We Are Knitters so I could tell everybody about it. I'm sure they wanted me to choose a crochet kit, but meh. My only thing is that I cannot sew seams together neatly, so that is a bit of a pig's ear, I guess. And then there's I don't know if it's that side. Oh look, yeah, it's not the world's greatest joining, so I've got to practice it, but do you know what, I'm over the moon with what I've done so far, and the fact that I can wear it all the time is good. It's a bit short, even though I added extra rows because I made the size small because I thought my tension was quite loose, as it is in crochet. But if I hadn't added those rows, this would be unwearable for me and I'd have to have given it away. So it's got maybe 6, 8 or 10 extra rows on the sleeves, so they normally sit here, and about the same on the body as well, which sits not cropped, it's not cropped, but not as long as I'd like it either. There you go. So it's there, which is all right. It's a We Are Knitter's wool, but I can't remember the name of it. I think it's something like the Petite wool or something like that. But it's a sort of chunky yarn. But I'll leave the detail. I'll leave a link so you can have a look. First knitted jumper that I've ever finished, and I wear. The second finished object is arguably finished, apart from the ends haven't been sewn in, and I haven't sewn them in because actually I'm going to unfinish it by ripping back some of the work I've done on it already. And that is the Betty Boyfriend sweater by Talia Crochet Creations. Crochet Designs. Oh, hang on, it's inside out. Once again, I will leave a link to this pattern. It was part of a bundle of patterns that you could buy a few weeks ago. I don't know if the bundle still exists, but actually out of like at least 12 patterns for $6 or something, or $12 for 30 patterns. I don't know, it was a bargain, whatever it was. I can't remember where the link was now. But this was the only pattern I wanted from it, so I just went straight to the source and bought the pattern itself, just for this jumper. Sweater. But I put in pink sleeves because I thought the contrast might be interesting, but I don't like the pink sleeves, so I'm just going to do the ribbing in the same colour as the main jumper, which I think is called Charcoal Grey, and it's Stylecraft Special Aran, and it's got 20% wool in it. It's a much fatter yarn than the pattern called for, but the original pattern uses what is called a DK, but it is not a DK, and it says on Ravelry, although this yarn has DK on the label, we would call it a worsted weight. Now worsted is slightly finer than Aran, isn't it? So this is a bit chunkier, and therefore I've had to fart around with the stitch count, which means sort of not really following the pattern. So I've got fewer stitches to make it the width I wanted. It's supposed to be sort of a slightly oversized jumper, but because of the nature of the yarn, these sleeves turned out massive. It was only like there to there, but when it came to the sleeves, they were hugely wide, and so I had to do a couple of rounds of decreases, and therefore I've now got like bell sleeves, which is quite a nice feature, but not part of the original design because it's supposed to be like a boyfriend jumper that you've nicked off your fella. But I don't think this is like a boyfriend type sleeve, whatever that may be. So it's a bell sleeve really now, but this pink's coming off and the charcoal is going on. And even in the original pattern it just says like work an even number of stitches around the sleeve hole. It doesn't tell you how many stitches to work around the sleeve hole. So for all I know, I've done way too many, which is why it's much bigger. And it sort of gave me nothing to work from, even because I did have to make adjustments. But I didn't know if the stitch count I chose, I sort of just boshed them in, eyeballed it really to see what would be even and sort of a nice balance, you know, so it wouldn't be ripply and it wouldn't be too tight. But I've no idea if like the amount of stitches I did was accurate really. So that was the one thing about the pattern that I didn't like, was that it didn't tell you the number of stitches you were supposed to do around the sleeve hole. It just said make them even. I'd like to have known the number, and not that it would probably make much of a difference with this jumper. As I said, the yarn is much chunkier than the one used in the pattern. If I knew the number of stitches, I could have used it as a guide, I suppose, to help. But other than that, I like the stitches. The neckline, I'm supposed to put ribbing on the neckline and I haven't. I don't think I will. What do you reckon? comes to there. So it's a bit longer than the other one. There you go. The ends all over the place. Sleevesies. Would you leave it like this, do you reckon? Oh, hello. Or put ribbing in? I quite like it like that. And when the sleeves are charcoal, sorry, let me sit down, not on a cushion. When the sleeves are charcoal, I think it'll look quite nice. So at some point, I've been saving this. I made this like at the beginning, finished at the beginning of the week, maybe last weekend. But I was saving it to talk about it before I ripped it out, so I could do that now. But then if I do it, it might just sit there in a pile, waiting to be redone. Because I did it last Sunday because I watched his Dark Materials, the first episode, while I worked on it. So it's been a week since I did this. I'll have to find the knot now. I don't remember sewing it in. I like the way the ribbing works. It's the same as how I did the ribbing on the Claudia cowl. So it is worked like that, and you slip stitch it to the main piece as you go. Bye bye. Ooh. Yeah. So I guess I should do that. And then once I've finished that, I've got another jumper I want to make. And this one is the Cloud 9 jumper, I think it's called. Well, it is called the Cloud 9 jumper. I printed this one out because it's got so many different options on it that I thought I was going to get confused when I started reading the pattern. So I've printed it out. Claudine from Iron Lamb gifted me this pattern because she's lovely, and I think she knew I was perving over it. I wanted to make it, so yes. I'm going to use, I think, this charcoal again for that, and then use all the fun of the fair colour palette for some stripes in it somewhere, probably down the bottom. So by the end of the winter I shall be rolling in crochet jumpers, and I've a million squillion of them. And the ones I made last year, I could frog them out Tremper Sweater because I don't like it. I never wear it. Or I could turn it into a scuzzy jumper, like, you know, when you just, like when you go camping. One of the colour block granny jumpers I made got turned into a camping jumper because I felted it. But it's warm, really warm, so it's perfect for camping, not that I go very often. So I keep looking at the screen because I'm frightened that it will just say the camera's going to stop, which it does every 4 or 5 minutes. My Granny Rocks jumper I still love, but it's stretched and it's now way too big, and it was boxy in the first place. So out of all the jumpers I've made in the past, that would be the most wearable one, but unfortunately it's ginormous. And it just falls off me. So I might have to make another Granny Rocks jumper as well. Not sure. But once I've made the Cloud 9 jumper, I think I'll have enough sweaters for this year, and should resist the call to make another one. I could make a cardie. Last weekend, I think it was, I went to Stitch Fest Southwest, which is a yarn festival based in Totnes. It's only about 45 minutes away from me. And I went on the Saturday morning. I got maybe 35 minutes there. I drove for about 35 minutes before I had to turn around and come back again because the roads had flooded and they were impassable. Some people would sploshing through these massive puddles, but I wasn't willing to do it. I'd already kind of almost had a close call on one of the main roads where the inside lane was a river. So rather than risk ruining myself and my car, I turned back, came home. I was really annoyed and determined too. So the next morning, when it wasn't raining anymore, I went back and I actually went to the festival just for a couple of hours. Had a sort of a wander around, had a look at stuff and bought some things. I think it was its 4th year, maybe 5th year. I didn't go last year, but I did go the year before, and this year it had different stalls. Some were a bit sort of old-fashioned, I think, in my opinion, but then some were also really good, and I did buy some yarn, so I will show you that next. I bought some gloves as well that I want to talk about, so when the camera turns off next I'll jump up and get those so I can show you these gloves I bought. Mitts, they're cool. The first purchase I think was this from Dina's Home of Crafts. It's not somebody I know, not somebody I've heard of, but I really like this combination, and so I got them. This is 70% merino, 20% yak, 10% nylon. So it's only the second time I've bought yak, but it's really nice, it's luxurious, I think. And it's quite expensive as well, at £19 because of that makeup. The other yarn was a bit cheaper, but this one's kid mohair and silk, so that was quite expensive as well. They were both £19. That was the most expensive thing I bought. So I'm going to save it for something special because I really like those. And whether or not it's a design I come up with or something somebody else has designed and I make, I don't know. But I'm just going to keep those to one side and then find a project. I'm in no rush. I had no intention of buying those, and I had no intention of buying these either, but these are only a tenner each, and this is double knit. They're both one of a kind. Superwash merino with 20% nylon. And these are from Siobhan's Crafts. But I couldn't resist. For 10 quid each, it was a bargain. An absolute bargain. Don't know what I'm going to do with that yet either, but maybe something with colour work. And then the other stuff I bought is for a new design that I've been thinking of for a while and I'm quite excited about. And I'm going to start it. I think I'll probably wind those skeins either later on today or tomorrow and then get stuck in, because I've already done a little swatch, which I'm not going to show you because I don't want to, not yet. But I might show you when it's a bit more advanced, when I've actually done a bit more work on it. Okay, let me just show you. It's from Siobhan's Crafts again. I'm really liking the idea at the minute of 50-gram skeins, so you can have lots of different colours and not need to invest in a whole 100 grams. You can just you can get half that weight. It's brilliant. It's the first time I've started noticing it more and more. I spotted a few in Edinburgh in March, but before that I'd never really seen 50-gram skeins. So I've chosen these pretty hot colours. They're nice and bright. They're going to be part of my new design. And then this grey as well, which this is 100 grams and it's from Unbeliever Wool. I bought from her before, but I can't remember which ones I bought. I'd have to look back at old videos to try and remember the colourways. I think I've still got them. I think it's a whip for a shawl design, and I just didn't get very far. From the stuff I bought from Totnes 2 years ago, something else. So I bought that from Unbeliever Wool, and all of this is from Siobhan's Crafts. And they're only £6.50 each, so it's pretty good. It is Polworth as well, 85% Polworth, and I don't know what the other 15% is. Maybe it's nylon. But they're 4-ply, or it just says sock. It's sort of like a plump 4-ply. I'll let you know how that goes. I really want to start that. I'm dead excited to start it. But then I'm dead excited to sort of just do lots of... I want to do another granny blanket. I'm craving a granny. And also... I've been doing a C2C. I've picked up my C2C blanket again, which I put down ages ago because I'd already made one. It was a Zeens block. I haven't got very far. But I started digging out colours to go in it, and then realised that I wanted to make another granny square blanket, so I dug out colours for that as well, which is somewhere. I've been rummaging this morning quite a lot. I've now got a bag like that big of new balls with their ball bands still on and stuff like that, that I don't really want, I'm not going to use. So I was thinking about doing a Christmas giveaway. I will talk about it next episode probably, because it's not quite Christmas yet, is it? We're still arguably at the beginning of November. Where are we? To the 9th today? Something like that. I've forgotten. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I've got lots of things I want to work on. That design is the next one that I'm an eager beaver for. But then, yeah, I want to make granny squares, and I want to do granny stripe. And I want to do this, and I want to do that. My son has asked for a hat in the most horrible colours, but he thinks they're great, and so I should do it. I'm working on... Ooh, this was my project last night. See, I haven't forgotten it. It is the Frost Shawl by Hannah from the Cozy Crochet Cottage. I am still doing this. I don't know how far I was last time. No idea, but now I'm here. I'm on my second skein. But I conked out last night working on this. I was on the sofa watching telly and I just fell asleep. It was so late. It must have been about, early, 9:30, and that was it. I was asleep. Couldn't do it. I was just like, I'll just do a couple of rows before I go to bed, and I couldn't even manage that. I almost forgot to mention, I've still got a couple of things. I almost forgot to mention that I bought, these are the gloves I bought, the wrist warmers. They are made from recycled jumpers, so just chopped out from old jumpers, like Pringle jumpers and things, I think she uses. And then they're lined with a really nice jersey fabric and overlocked. And if you want, you can roll them up or down. They can be like that. And they're really nice. I bought extra long ones because I loved them. But they are snow leopard designs, and Yamini makes cowls as well. And I think she's going to start making leg warmers. Cowl, I think she calls them, they're snoods. I love them, and my kids love them. My kids are after some. She does kid sizes too. I'll do a link because she's a lovely lady, and these are great Christmas presents. But I love them, and I noticed that Miss Moffat had bought some as well, because Kirsten went to Stitch Fest Southwest as well. And then I bought 2 crochet hooks. These are made from, I think, beech, and these are the Luca ones, which I've been eyeing up for a while. I didn't buy a set. You could have bought a set, but I've just bought a 4 and a 4.5, and because I use those sizes the most. And that was a treat to myself. These are my early Christmas presents. But these hooks look lovely, and I'm going to probably work on my new design in either a 4 and a 4 or a 4.5. I haven't decided what yet. Nice. And then also I've done a little hook update. There's more updates to come. I've got another handful of hooks to go on the Etsy shop for Kirk and Roger. But there's lots of turned ones now, which are fabulous, and I've got some spalted ones that I need to photograph, or one spalted one. The rest are sort of either sycamore or beech, I think. So they've got all their labels on, so I know which one's which when people buy them. I posted one out to a customer this morning. I love them. I love them. And keep your eyes peeled on Instagram, because I'm going to do an Instagram giveaway for a hook to celebrate, try and get 25,000 followers on Zeens and Roger and 1,000 followers on Kirk and Roger. So please do keep your eyes peeled for an Instagram giveaway for a hook. I've already chosen which hook. And I'm gonna do 2 skeins of yarn as well, because I wanted to. So this is the hook that I'm doing the giveaway for. It's a 7mm, and because you can't use this wool with a 7mm, I'm giving away this. They don't match, but it doesn't matter. These are 2 50-gram skeins of 4-ply that are socks, that I bought in Edinburgh in March. And I bought them because I loved them, not because I had a project in mind. And because I've got no project in mind for them, I thought, do you know what? Somebody else will be able to make something a lot quicker than me with them. So they're going to be part of a giveaway prize on Instagram only. I'm not doing it here. I'll be doing another giveaway on here for yarn in a future episode. One final thing. So I've got some hooks. Nobody loves the big ginormous one made out of birch. I love this guy. Why does nobody want him? Do you want this one? Buy it, please. It's so lovely. A couple of quince ones left as well, but they are the bigger sizes. The smaller sizes seem to sell better, so we're trying to make more smaller sized hooks. But because they're handmade and they are wood, we can't go down too low. So there won't be any like 3.5s, and 4s are quite tricky to do because they snap quite easily. So usually we're looking at 4.5, 5mm, 5.5mm. They seem to be the most popular ones. So we're going to try and make more of those. Keep your eyes peeled for another update, because there'll be one in a week or so. And then possibly another one before Christmas too, because I want some more whittled ones, not turned ones. It's nice to have a selection of both, isn't it? It's so good. It's all very exciting. What's going on with my hair? And then, right at the end, because my battery is now flashing, if you want a Christmas hat, to make a Christmas hat for Christmas, I'm going to do 20% off for a few weeks. I haven't worked out a date. I'll have decided the date by the time I write the blog post for this episode. So if you wanted to make a granny hat, the pattern is for a granny hat, and it also includes a dinky version of the hat so you can do a garland. So 20% off for a few weeks from the episode airing until at least 2 weeks, if not finishing somewhere at the beginning of December. I don't know. Don't forget to like, thumbs up, subscribe and all of that jazz. I hope you're well, and I'm sorry if this is hasty again. Got to pull my finger in and sort stuff out so I can do this in a more leisurely manner. I'll try and come back a bit sooner this time with whatever I've been up to. What are you making? Let me know. And don't forget that I've got a Patreon account as well. I'll leave a link just in case you were feeling rich. Richer than me. Right. I think that's it. I like this Christmas hat. I forgot about it last year. Left it in the cupboard. Ho ho ho. I know it's not Christmas yet. Right. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again next time. Cheerio, bye bye.